If you're watching this right now, chances are you're terrified your marriage is ending. Maybe you've already heard the words, "I want a divorce." Or maybe you haven't heard them yet, but you can feel it coming. Here's what nobody tells you. Research from the Gottman Institute shows that the patterns leading to divorce are predictable. And more importantly, they're reversible. The problem isn't that marriages can't be saved. The problem is that most people don't know how. And I want you to know something before we go any further. If you're in this situation right now, the fear, the sleepless nights, the pit in your stomach, that's real. And it's valid. You're not here because your marriage is weak. You're here because you care enough to fight for it. That already puts you ahead of most people. I'm Francis Emmanuel, a marriage education specialist. I've spent hours researching one specific question. Why do some marriages survive crisis while others don't? And what I found in the research changed everything I thought I knew about divorce. Today, I'm going to share 5 research-backed strategies that actually stop a divorce. Not opinions, not guesses. Strategies proven by decades of marriage research. Stay until the end, because strategy number 5 is the one that ties everything together. Strategy number 1, and this is the one most people get wrong. Dr. John Gottman, who studied hundreds of couples over more than 40 years, discovered what he calls the 4 Horsemen. These are 4 communication patterns that predict divorce with over 90% accuracy. And the first horseman, criticism. Now there's a difference between a complaint and criticism. A complaint says, "I'm upset that you forgot to pick up the kids." Criticism says, "You always forget. You don't care about this family." That word, always, is a red flag. Research shows that couples who replace criticism with what Gottman calls a soft startup dramatically reduce how often fights escalate out of control. A soft startup means leading with how you feel instead of what they did wrong. I want you to think about this. When was the last time a complaint turned into criticism in your home? Drop the word soft startup in the comments if you're committing to try this today. Because the moment you name it, you take the power away from it. Strategy number 2 is something most couples have never heard of. It's called the 5-to-1 ratio. Gottman's research found that stable, happy marriages have at least 5 positive interactions for every 1 negative interaction. 5-to-1. That's the magic ratio. And here's the scary part. Couples heading for divorce, their ratio drops to close to 1-to-1 or even less. 1 positive for every negative. Sometimes less. Think about that for a second. Now the good news. You don't need grand gestures to fix this. Research shows it's the small things. A genuine, "How was your day?" A touch on the shoulder as you walk by. Saying, "Thank you," for something small. Those micro moments of connection add up fast, and they start shifting that ratio back in the right direction. Strategy 3, and honestly, this one surprised me the most when I found it in the research. It's called repair attempts. Here's what that means. Every couple fights. Every single one. Happy couples, unhappy couples. They all have conflict. The difference isn't whether you fight. It's whether your repair attempts actually land. A repair attempt is anything that de-escalates tension during a fight. It could be humor. It could be saying, "I'm sorry, let me start over." It could even be reaching for your partner's hand mid-argument. Dr. Sue Johnson, the creator of emotionally focused therapy, found that 90% of couples who go through EFT significantly improve their relationship, and 70 to 75% fully recover. The key is learning to make repair attempts and learning to accept them when your partner tries. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you or your partner made a repair attempt during a fight? And did it work? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one, Strategy 4. And this is where most people get completely stuck. You need to understand that the thing you're fighting about usually isn't the real problem. Research from Dr. Sue Johnson shows that underneath every argument about money or chores or the kids or intimacy, there's usually a deeper emotional need that isn't being met. The real question your spouse is asking isn't why didn't you do the dishes? The real question is, do I still matter to you? Are you still there for me? When you start hearing the question behind the question, that's when everything changes. Next time you're in a disagreement, try pausing and asking yourself, what is my partner really afraid of right now? That one question can shift an entire argument. Strategy 5. And I'm going to be direct with you here. Sometimes you need a proven roadmap, not just tips, not just communicate better, an actual step-by-step system. Marriage researcher Dr. William Doherty at the University of Minnesota found that couples who seek structured intervention with clear steps are significantly more likely to recover than those who just try harder on their own. And that's exactly why I want to share something with you. There's a program called Mend the Marriage, created by relationship expert Brad Browning. It's helped thousands of couples pull their marriage back from the edge. It gives you the exact steps, what to say, what to stop doing, and how to rebuild trust even when it feels impossible. I'll put the link in the description and in the first pinned comment. Even if you're not ready for that right now, the strategies I just shared can start making a difference today. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Your marriage is not a statistic. The fact that you watched this far tells me something. You haven't given up. And the research is clear. Marriages that look completely hopeless can be turned around when you apply the right strategies. Here's what I want you to do right now. First, drop a comment below telling me which strategy resonated with you the most. Second, if you want the full roadmap, check out the link in the description. And third, subscribe and hit that bell, because every Friday I'm releasing a new video to help you rebuild your marriage. Remember, stop the drift, reignite the love. I'll see you in the next one.